So, as many of you know, I've been getting some dental work done. Today I had to go in and get my fake tooth taken out so I could get my real fake tooth put in. See? New tooth right there. So, got my new tooth today. So it's late. I didn't get home until late. So I'm just going to do something real quick, but hopefully it will still be entertaining. I was at work the other day, and I don't know why it crept into my head, but an old ad campaign kind of just popped into my head, made me laugh, and then I started thinking to myself, that'd be interesting to kind of do for the channel. To every once in a while, whenever I think of something, and I don't know when I'm going to do this, how often I'm going to do this, when it's going to, again, it's incumbent on me thinking of something or coming across something that's beyond the usual. But I thought of this, I thought of this commercial, and I thought to myself, there's no fucking way that could be done these days. Right? Like, there's no way it could be done. And everybody has that conversation all the time, you know, Blazing Saddles could never be made these days, you know, things of that nature. And I was thinking that would be interesting to kind of go beyond that, stretch beyond that, and look for things that aren't quite so obvious. Because, I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's no fucking way that Blazing Saddles could ever be redone these days. The N-word was in it so much that it's just, no, never. No. Doesn't matter, no. And then I started thinking, I'm like, none of Mel Brooks' movies could fucking be made these. Like, I can't think of one Mel Brooks movie that I could honestly see being remade nowadays. And I asked a buddy at work, I said all that to him, and I was like, can you think of anything else beyond normalcy? And he's like, well, you know, they made Django. And I'm like, yeah? And he's like, so why couldn't Blazing Saddles be redone? And I'm like, well, first of all, Django was what, 5 or 6 years ago? Like, that was before we got as crazy as we are. And Django took a lot of shit. Like, there was a lot of people that were like, dude, why are you making these movies? So, you know, Quentin got a lot of shit for Django, and people started asking him about, well, you know, there's Django, and then you've got this other one, and then you got this movie, and all these N-words thrown around. And, like, Quentin hasn't made anything since Hateful Eight that I can think of. So, I think Quentin's laying low. Quentin's a smart fucking man. And I think Quentin's laying low. I think that's why we're not hearing from Quentin at all. Like, Quentin kind of came back for a half a second when Uma Thurman was talking about Harvey Weinstein and how he treated her and the bad things that fucking happened. And Quentin came back around to say, Uma asked me for some footage, so I gave it to her. Man, like, that was it. That's all we've heard of Quentin since all of this insanity fucking started a couple years ago. We haven't heard one fucking word from that man. And I think it's because Quentin's very fucking smart. And he's very wealthy, so he probably can go quite a few years before he needs to do another project. And he's just gonna, I think, ride this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know. But, yeah, I was like, that was also enough years ago that, like, you know, he couldn't make that, they couldn't re-release Django and Jane now. Never. And he's like, yeah, that's a good point. So, I want to watch this commercial. It's an old commercial. A lot of you might remember it. A lot of you may have never fucking seen it before. But, this commercial actually, quite literally, made a dude's career. Like, the person in this fucking commercial, nobody knew who the fuck he was. And then he became this guy, and then movies and TV and all manner of shit. So, This actually made somebody's career. Never could be done anymore. And I'm going to explain why as we go through it. Here we go.
Hey, I'm the guy who makes 7-Up. I also write the advertising. I just came up with a great new slogan. Make 7-Up yours. Make 7-Up yours.
So first of all, anybody recognize Orlando Jones? Right? This was like the first time I think anybody had ever really seen Orlando Jones. Like, this turned him from being probably a locally famous comedian to a fucking household name. This fucking commercial back in the day went fucking huge. You know a commercial's huge when the dude in it gets movie roles. Like, and not like he's a bad actor or anything. He's a great actor. Man, in Evolution. He was so goddamn funny in that movie. He made that fucking movie. He was brilliant in that fucking movie. So, right? Very funny guy, great actor. This is what fucking launched his career. And just that up yo's, that you can't have that on TV. Are you shitting me? Somebody's gonna bitch. Somebody's gonna complain about that shit. You're teaching my kids. I think it's offensive. People are gonna start saying that to everybody. It's offensive. Hurt feelings all around.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Make 7-Up yours, baby. People just love it. Make 7-Up yours!
Now, I mean, apparently the argument can be made that screaming, make 7-Up yours on the street will cause car accidents. The argument can be made. Right? Because we just saw it. He screamed, make 7-Up yours. Car accident. So, I mean, they might actually have a halfway decent reason for wanting this sort of thing banned if it were to happen today. But, they would definitely want it banned.
Hey, my man, make 7-Up yours. Make 7-Up yours. Same to you. Same to me.
I don't know who that dude is, but I've seen that dude in all manner of shit, and he's a fucking great actor too. So, I don't think that this launched his career, right? I don't think Same to You was enough to get him fucking work, but I think he's been working for a long fucking time, and he's like a really good character actor. So I like that guy.
You see, it's catching on already. Hey, make 7-Up yours, man. Oh, we going global with this baby.
See that? Cultural appropriation. I mean, it's racist, man. It's fucking is, it's all racist. And but honestly, I don't think that, even with that diverse cast, I don't think they could do this these days. You might disagree. You might think that everybody might think it's just as adorable as it used to be. But I think that there would be controversy over that. Controversy over 7-Up's new commercial series, the Make 7-Up Yours campaign. But yeah, I don't think there was any fucking... I think everybody loved this back in the day, but I honestly don't think... I don't think they could do it these days. So, this is what I mean when I said trying to stretch outside the norm. Obviously, things with blackface in it, you couldn't fucking do these days. Right? The things like Blazing Saddles, you couldn't do it these days. There's a lot of things that are very fucking obvious you can't do these days. But I don't think this would fly either. Maybe you disagree. I'd like to discuss this in the comments. If you agree with me, because they're crazy. But if you disagree with me, I'd love to know your reasons why. I'd love to hear why you think I might be off on this one. But I honestly think that there would be big controversy, and there's no fucking way that 7-Up could get away with this shit these days. I just don't think so. Like, it's not even really against anything. People would just say it's offensive. And people will be worried that the children are going to run around saying, make 7-Up yours at school, shit like that. And I think that would be... I think that would, yeah. It's not as bad as all of everything else. I mean, it's not bad at all, but it's not, you know, it isn't racially offensive. It's very diverse. It's got some stereotypes in it, so I'm sure that, you know, some Asian group would be like, Asians don't give a fuck. Some black group would be like, man, it's just like a stereotype of a black guy. And it's actually just Orlando. Like, he just seems to kind of be that way. But, yeah, I'm sure somebody would bitch about that. The offensiveness of it. It's a curse up yours, you know? Like, people would be like, you can't, no. I don't care the context. Context doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. So, what do you think?